The Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back to the channel, besties. Today is a beautiful, chaotic day, and we are genuinely so thrilled you are here with us because the absolute magnitude of what we are about to discuss is going to alter our brain chemistry forever. Grab your iced coffees, lock your doors, and prepare to spiral because we are diving straight into the madness right now. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now. I am literally filming this while I'm running errands because I just had to jump on here and vent. My soul has actually left my body, and I am currently speaking to you from the astral plane because the sheer, unadulterated audacity of what just went down in Genoa City has fundamentally broken me as a human being. Bestie, be for real right now, because I was mid-skincare and smeared charcoal mask all over the rug when this scene happened, and I literally had to yeet my phone across the room. We are not just watching this show anymore, we are invested. We are traumatized, and I am personally attacked by the absolute cinematic mayhem that just unfolded. Send help. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step, because my brain is visibly buffering from the sheer audacity of this plot. Let's set the scene, because we basically have to understand the emotional wreckage that led to this moment. Victoria Newman has been wandering around looking like a gorgeous, tragic Victorian ghost because she is deep in her feelings over the anniversary of Cole Howard's death. She is lonely, she is vulnerable, and she is genuinely just going through it. And usually Victoria's our ice queen, right? She's buttoned up, she's defending Victor's honor, she's giving nothing but corporate ruthless energy. But right now, she's crumbling. And honestly, it's giving major, I cannot even energy because seeing her so fragile is straight up jarring. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but we also need to talk about Kyle Abbott. Kyle is officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done with him, but at the same time, I am totally living for the mess he brings. Kyle has been spiraling out of control. His dad, Jack, was literally stabbed. His mom, Diane, was kidnapped by that unhinged doctor. Markham and Kyle is just a walking, talking red flag wrapped in trauma. He even made that insane, dangerous deal with Patty Williams in jail to get revenge on Victor, which is honestly so unhinged, and don't even get me started on the vibes he's been giving off lately. He's reckless, he's furious, and he needs someone to lean on. So, naturally, you would think Victoria and Kyle would just cross paths at the athletic club, glare at each other, argue about Victor Newman ruining the Abbott family, and move on with their lives. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush, moving on, but no. That is not what happens. Instead of their usual toxic banter where Victoria defends her dad and Kyle blames Victor for the literal destruction of the ozone layer, they start talking. Like, genuinely, deeply talking. They start trauma bonding. Kyle just starts spilling all his family trauma, venting about how he almost lost his parents in a matter of days. And Victoria, who is already raw from mourning Cole, actually listens. I'm literally hyperventilating right now just thinking about the shift in their dynamic. Victoria starts feeling sympathy for him. She starts seeing him not as Jack Abbott's annoying son, but as this broken, traumatized guy who is hurting just like she is. And Kyle looks at Victoria and sees this lonely, beautiful woman who actually understands the suffocating weight of legacy family drama. The tension between them starts shifting from hostility to this thick, magnetic, completely inappropriate understanding. It's a psychological masterpiece where the stakes are astronomical. And I was screaming at my screen like, do not do this. You guys are neighbors. This is too messy even for us. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. So, they decide they need privacy because they are sharing all these deep, dark secrets. They end up at the Newman guest house. And let me just veer off into a completely random tangent for a second. Who is the interior designer for that guest house? Because there was this one lamp in the background that was giving me total mid-century modern anxiety. It was tilted at this weird angle, and the lighting was casting these crazy shadows, and I was like, is this foreshadowing? Is the lamp a metaphor for their tilted moral compasses? Okay, snapping back to the main tea. The aesthetic of the room is dark, moody, and dripping with tension. They are standing there, and the emotional walls just completely collapse. Victoria lets her guard down. Kyle leans in, and the trauma bonding turns into straight up passion. Besties, they cross the line. They obliterate the line. Victoria Newman and Kyle Abbott start hooking up in the Newman guest house, and I am clutching my chest because I am literally too unwell to handle the gravity of these events. It's wrong on so many levels, but the chemistry is genuinely crackling, and I am sitting there with my jaw on the floor, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update. But hold on, because if you thought that was the world-ending tea, you are profoundly mistaken. The universe was not done with us. Enter Claire Newman. Sweet, fragile, deeply traumatized Claire Newman. Let's remember that Claire has this weird, complicated dynamic with Kyle. She just warned him not to mess with her grandfather. She's protective of her new family. But more importantly, she reveres her mother. Victoria is her goddess, her savior, the woman who brought her out of the darkness of Jordan's abuse. Claire's grip on reality and stability is entirely anchored to her idealized version of Victoria. So, Claire, being the protective and slightly paranoid girlie that she is, notices her mom acting weird and secretly follows her to the guest house. I am pacing my room at this point. I am physically vibrating from the sheer anxiety of knowing what is about to happen. Claire creeps up to the guest house. The sound design in this episode was insane, by the way. You could hear the crunch of the gravel under her shoes, the wind howling, the literal sound of impending doom. Claire looks through the window, or the partially open door, and she sees them. She sees her mother, the woman she practically worships, tangled up with Kyle Abbott, a man she secretly has incredibly complex feelings for and also kind of hates right now. Bestie, the look on Claire's face. I will never, ever recover. You could physically see her psyche snapping in half. The betrayal didn't just hurt her, it personally attacked my soul. It was like watching a porcelain doll get hit by a freight train in slow motion. Everything she believed about her safe, perfect new life with her mother just went up in flames. Her brain couldn't process the visual of Victoria and Kyle being intimate. It completely short-circuited her fragile mental state. I was screaming into my pillow, "Claire, walk away!" Just walk away, girl. But no. The villain arc is about to go nuclear, I am calling it right now. Claire doesn't just cry and run away. The deep-seated feral trauma that Jordan instilled in her, the madness that she has worked so hard to suppress, comes clawing its way up to the surface. Her eyes go completely dead. It's giving major horror movie vibes, and I am genuinely terrified of this girl. She walks into the guest house. The door creaks open. Victoria and Kyle don't even hear her at first because they are so wrapped up in their messy, unfiltered, emotional train wreck of a hookup. Claire looks around the room and her eyes lock onto this massive, heavy object. I think it was a giant bronze statue or a ridiculously heavy decorative vase again. The decor in this place is lethal, and she just picks it up. She picks it up with this terrifying, calm strength. Send help! My soul has actually left my body. Claire raises the heavy object, and the sheer cinematic drama of the lighting catching the metal as she stands over them is a 10/10 masterpiece. Victoria finally gasps and turns her head, and the absolute horror that washes over Victoria's face when she sees her own daughter standing there like an avenging angel of death. I cannot. I literally cannot. Before Victoria can even scream, before Kyle can even process what is happening, Claire swings. She brings that heavy object down with a sickening, brutal force. The screen went chaotic. It was just flashes of movement, the sound of the impact, Victoria screaming, Kyle trying to scramble back, and Claire just completely losing her mind. She attacks them both. It is ruthless. It is tan yun cruel, brutal. It is the most violent, unhinged reaction we have seen in Genoa City in years. She doesn't just hit them once. She is acting out of pure, unadulterated madness, destroying the two people who just shattered her reality. I am watching this, and I am physically unwell. My heart rate is at 150 BPM. I am sending manic voice notes to the group chat at 4 a.m. like, Claire just murdered Victoria and Kyle. This is not a drill. The camera pans back, and we just see the absolute carnage in the guest house. Victoria and Kyle are on the floor, and Claire is standing there, breathing heavily, the weapon still in her hand, completely disassociated from reality. And then the screen fades to black. Fades to black. Are you kidding me? You cannot just fade to black after a double homicide attempt by the newest numenaris. I am glitching. I am literally glitching. What is going to happen next? Is Victoria dead? Is Kyle in a coma? What is Victor Newman going to do when he finds out his precious daughter was sleeping with an abbot and was brutally bludgeoned by his own granddaughter? Victor is going to have an actual, literal heart attack. The stakes have never been this high. I am spiraling into an existential tangent because this specific betrayal and this specific reaction have made it absolutely clear that this situation is now my entire personality, and I am not okay. Like, how are we supposed to go to work tomorrow? How am I supposed to pretend I care about spreadsheets when Claire Newman is out here turning the Newman guest house into a true crime documentary? Let's really break down the psychology here, because I need to process this or I'm going to explode. Victoria was seeking comfort. She was tired of being the strong one. She just wanted to feel alive and connected to someone after morning coal. And Kyle, who is basically a wounded animal right now, provided that escape. But they were so selfish. They were so wrapped up in their own trauma that they didn't think about the collateral damage. And Claire, poor, broken Claire. She finally thought she was safe. She thought she had a normal mom. And the second she sees her mom doing something messy, her brain just defaults back to violence. It's tragic. It's dramatic. And it is the best television I have seen in my entire life. I need everyone in the comments to tell me how they are coping, because I am officially on a leave of absence from reality. Manifesting that Victoria survives, but honestly, part of me wants to see Claire fully embrace her unhinged villain era. She is officially the most dangerous person in Genoa City, and I am straight up terrified of her. Did I mention I yeeted my phone? Because my screen is cracked now, and I am sending the repair bill to CBS. Okay, I need to go breathe into a paper bag and reevaluate my life choices. Keep it locked here, besties, because the second we get an update on this absolute dumpster fire, I will be back, and we will be spilling all the remaining tea. Stay safe out there, don't hook up in guest houses, and definitely don't let Claire Newman catch you slipping.